Hey guys, I've had a great day today and I hope you have too. I want to talk to you about something today that is important now, and it'll be important every day of your life. Other men will make snap decisions about you because of this, and it will set initial relationships, depending on how you do this, good or bad. I'm talking about how you shake a man's hand. Now you may think, it's not that important. No, actually, it's very important. Your handshake, without saying a word, says a lot about who you are. It can reveal whether or not you are a masculine man, which you need to try to be every single day. It can reveal whether or not you are intimidated by the person whose hand you're shaking. It can reveal whether or not you're genuinely pleased to see the person whose hand you're shaking. And especially in a professional setting, it could predetermine whether or not you get that job that you're interviewing for. So there are some critical basics, critical basics when shaking a man's hand. All the basics that I'm going to talk about are important, but this one is super important. Never shake a man's hand sitting down. When shaking another man's hand, if you don't even care enough to get up, that says a lot about your feelings towards the other man. It shows you don't really have a lot of respect for them. It also shows that you're willing to do things incorrectly, or in that particular instance, that you don't know the correct way. And you don't want to be known for either of those things. I have occasion to shake a man's hand fairly frequently, and I always try to get up. And he always says, "Oh, you don't have to get up for me." Well, believe me, I wasn't. I wasn't getting up because of who he is. I was getting up because of who I am. When shaking a man's hand, you need to stand up, be face to face, and be eye to eye with him. Which leads right into the second point, and that is, when shaking another man's hand, always look him directly in the eye. Look him straight in the eye, directly in the eye, and don't have a bashful look on your face. Don't have an embarrassed look on your face. Don't have a look on your face that says you are intimidated by the other person. Give him a firm, eye-to-eye handshake that tells the other man that you are an honorable, honest, trustworthy, masculine man's man. Which leads to our third point, which is have a firm handshake. I'm not talking about trying to break the other guy's hand or shut the blood flow off to his fingers. I'm just talking about a masculine, manly, firm grip during the handshake. If you squeeze the other man's hand too strong, like you're really trying to grip hard and maybe make him uncomfortable, that could show that you're actually a little bit intimidated by him and you're trying to make up for it and show him how tough you are. You don't want to do that. Just give a firm, masculine handshake. Don't reach out and just give a wet dishcloth. That also says a lot about the person offering the wet dish towel, and all those things are not good. Give a firm, man-to-man, masculine handshake. Number 4, square off with the guy. Now the term squaring off, a lot of times that has a bad meaning. It's as if you're squaring off for a fight. That's not what I mean here at all. That just means you're stepping up, face to face, squared off with the other man. Why do that? What does it show? Well, squaring off means that for that moment, you were giving your full attention to this other man. Whatever you were doing before, you're putting that aside for the moment and devoting all your attention to this man. That shows respect for the other man. Also, don't just reach over a table or something and shake another man's hand in passing. That also says a couple of things. It says that you're either willing to do things that really aren't exactly correct, or you don't know the correct way to do it. And again, you don't want to be known for either of those things. Both of those things will reflect poorly on you. Do the right thing, in this case, a handshake, and it reflects positively on you. I remember vividly being at an outdoor event one time, and I happened to meet an Amish gentleman there. And just so you know, I hold the Amish in pretty high regard. And this was a pretty highly technical event. It was amateur rocketry, and when I say that, I mean things that go the speed of sound and thousands of feet high. So it must have been pretty amazing to someone that comes from the Amish farm. I wouldn't imagine that he sees a lot of that there. And this guy was just all smiles and happy and almost giddy. And we talked for quite a while. I really enjoyed talking with him. And so in passing, I told him how nice it was to visit with him. And by the way, my name's David. And I held out my hand. Well, this guy that was all grins and smiles and everything, as soon as I reached out my hand to introduce myself, he immediately turned towards me, looked me straight in the eye, expressionless, reached out his hand, gave me a really good firm handshake, and just with 2 strokes went up, down, like that, looking me right in the eye the whole time, and spoke my name. I've never forgotten that. Being Amish, I would imagine that he'd be well versed in those type of cultural things like shaking a man's hand. And he did it textbook. And he didn't do it because of who I was. He did it because of who he was. And that's what's so important to get across in what I'm telling you boys now. It's who you are. You're going to do the right thing because of who you are, not who the other guy is. Even though he was excited about that event, for that moment, he put everything else aside and gave me his undivided attention. You want to be an honorable man. You want to be a man's man. You want to be a masculine man. Shake a man's hand in a way that if you were otherwise unable to communicate to him, and the handshake is all you had, he would know from that handshake that you're an honorable, masculine man's man. Stand up, face to face, look him directly in the eye, and give him a firm handshake. You need to shake the other man's hand in the way that I just told you, not because of who he is, but because of who you are. Even if the other guy is a schmuck, you're not. You're an honorable man. You're a man's man. Give that type of a handshake to another man. Shake another man's hand in an honorable, masculine man's way, and never, ever shake a man's hand sitting down. I think I should go. I hope you boys stay well, healthy, and safe always. Love you. I'm 70 years old and I still love trains.